Hello, my name is Starling Lee. I'm the president of the Carroll County Historical Society, and thank you for coming to look at our park. So let's come in this way, and we're going to look at our print shop. This print shop is part of our county. It's old, that's why it's here. We have new stuff now, so come on in. These models here are what used to be from the early 1900s, and they are set up here so we can show people. Hopefully someday we would like to be able to hand crank some of those so that when we have young visitors, they will be able to do their own little newspaper of their class. So come on down this way. As you can see, if you look on a computer and are learning to type, we have typesets. That's how they used to start those out, and this whole machine ran our newspaper. So imagine one of those newspapers that your parents look at, or even you learning to read a newspaper and to fold and unfold it. So we come down this way, we have different typesets, and if you look on these, you can see little characters. And they put those in the newspaper, and they have little sayings underneath, but everything's turned around backwards. So when you put that on there, when you look at it, it's frontwards. You can see it right. So we have all different kinds of stuff. We have, let's see, let's get over this way. We have typesets so that you can make different stuff. You could put like happy birthday to Miss Johnson or to Mom and Dad. Then we have the little bridge. This was a bridge that they used to advertise something. And these you put in ink and you stamp them, and they go on newspapers and stuff. This one here is one of the parts I was talking about, wanting to roll. You can do your own newspapers and stuff. Most of these are functioning, and they take big motors to run them, but it would be nice to hand crank so that we could use those to do show and tell. They have all the typesets, all the letters and stuff that go backwards and forwards, and they fit in different ones of these machines. As you can see here, I'm gonna move this basket, and as you can see here, we have alphabet. This here lets you start looking at your alphabet and setting up your words of what you want to write. It can type out this whole thing right here when you put them. But remember, when you're setting out your typeset, everything is backwards, and then when you run it, it goes face forward. Pension Mountain Schoolhouse. Come on in and take a look at this old school. The county brought this school down from Pension Mountain, and if you look the farthest back toward our, I guess our northeast maybe, Pension Mountain is the big mountain back behind us. Well, this school has been here since the late 1800s, and it's really survived really well. At different periods throughout the 1920s and the 30s, they come in and redid it again. And as you can see, some of the stuff up here, the fire, they used to have big old potbelly stoves. So we will have another stove in here when it gets done. Plus, we're gonna have the school bell that was with it. So we're excited to get that. We have desks, and we would love to have you all come back and see us and have a school day. But this is our Pigeon Mountain Schoolhouse. And Hi, welcome to our cell block. Now inside you're going to see a jail cell, and this cell was built in the 1920s. So come on in and let's go look. Got to be good so you don't ever get thrown in one of these jails. These cell blocks are still here from the time when in 1920 they were built. So they're very small. I would hate to have to stay any length of time. But all of these cells opened up and closed on a switch. So if you'll come inside and take a look, imagine having to sleep in one of those tiny little cells and the doors, they still close. Look at that tiny little bed. Imagining that sound as the door closes on you. Very spooky, I'll say.
Welcome to the James Montgomery Newberry Cabin. Montgomery Newberry built this pre-Civil War two-story cabin around 1845. He was born September 5th, 1826 in Overton County, Tennessee. Montgomery migrated with his family to Hopewell area of Newton County, Arkansas. He married Mary Miller, and together they had 10 children. Mary died in 1859. Montgomery then married Miss Rachel Clark Johnson in 1860, who brought 3 more children into the marriage, and together she and Montgomery had 5 more. A total of 18 children grew up in this cabin. A beloved slave, Negro Jess, lived with the family and helped care for all of the children. He slept near the hearth in wintertime to tend the fires. By the 1970s, this historic cabin had become badly deteriorated and was going to be razed. Members of the Carroll County Historical Society made arrangements to acquire and relocate it to the Pioneer Park right here in Berryville. Each log was marked as it was taken down and hauled 30 miles to the present location. Members of the Historical Society reconstructed it in 1978.
Come and join us as we take a look at Pioneer Days in the Newberry Cabin. As you can see, the cabin and everything is not very high. It is 2-storied. When you come in and you'll see our fireplace. We also have the family that was pioneered here. This is all of their stuff, all of the different stuff that their families had. They were cooking. Can you imagine cooking on an open fire? That even has its brown beans cooking right now. We have the dinner table set. And then we have a rope bed. Can you imagine sleeping in this old-fashioned bed that has ropes? And guess what? It has its own bathroom under the bed. I kid you not. Can you imagine on a cold winter night? A chamber pot is what it's called. You had to go to the restroom in a chamber pot. Ew. As you can tell, the rafters, it's not very tall. Most people had to kind of duck down. Now, I want you to see the little bedroom upstairs. Okay, let's take our time. Imagine all those children having to sleep upstairs in little pallets. Look at the rafters, how they were done. Your bedrooms aren't nice like they are now. These bedrooms were very rustic. And if you look over here, they also made their clothing and stuff on a spinning wheel. They had to spin that cotton out or sheep's wool to make their threads in order to make their clothes.